Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Nice to be back. For edification of our audience, we have done the first chapter, and Madan Sundar Prabhu, today we are embarking on another leg of our journey, chapter 2. In English, it is a very uh, nice kind of a title. Contents of the Gita summarized. The first one was setting the scene, and Sanskrit is called Arjun Vishad Yog, Arjuna's disappointment. So, what we are seeing here is Arjuna is submitting to Lord Krishna as a disciple. Krishna begins his teachings and by explaining the fundamental distinction between a material body, which is temporary, and a spirit soul, the existence of the spirit soul, which is eternal. Krishna goes into transmigration, the nature of selfless service, and the characteristics of a self-realized person. So, Thakur Bhaktivinoda, an important Vaishnava Acharya, has said that any student reading the Bhagavad Gita should consider chapter 2 as like a summary study of the entire contents. So, with your permission, I'll begin with chanting text number 1, chapter 2. Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tatha Kripaya अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषिदन्तम् इदं वाक्यम् उवाच Madhusudana. English translation. Sanjay said, seeing Arjun full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudan Krishna spoke the following words. And like anybody would like to know, here is somebody full of compassion. He was lamenting in the first chapter. He has tears in his eyes. Isn't he a nice person? Isn't he somebody who's going to take a decision based on uh, concern for others, social welfare? So these are some of the topics which I would really like that we should highlight in our discussion. First line, material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Whoa, you say, why? Why pick on Arjun? So I will leave you with this one thing which you really wanted to discuss. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. Over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, once again, welcome everyone. I'm personally very excited because now the actual stuff begins. Prior to this, there were a lot of melodrama was going on. Now here, Krishna will get to speak. But before that, just one interesting thing which I felt probably worthy to be brought to the attention. So here, this verse is spoken by Sanjay, and we concluded last time saying that Dhritarashtra is in almost in a state of ecstasy. He's at the edge of the seat, just about to topple down with joy, knowing the fact that Arjuna decided to walk away. But here, Sanjaya spoils the day for Dhritarashtra by using the word Madhusudana.
Hmm.
Application. Dhritarashtra, don't leave your seat. Anyways, you have to leave it afterwards. Till the time the war goes on, hang on to it because the war is not going to end. Krishna, Madhusudana, the killer of the demon Madhu, is there, which means he's going to destroy the doubts which have arisen in the mind of Arjuna. So that was pretty interesting. A smart move by Sanjaya, just to allow Dhritarashtra to continue the rest of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, here's something very interesting which I would like to discuss with the Shyamananda Prabhu for my understanding and for the understanding of the audience. Before we get into it, I would like to kind of maybe make a point about two worldviews or the mindset. Let's call one is a Vedic viewpoint or the worldview, which is largely based on the Vedic science, like which is presented in the Gita, where the fundamental understanding of life is I am not the body but spirit soul. Doesn't mean that I don't care for the body. I do care for the body, but I do not ignore the needs of the self, which means the soul. So along with taking care of the body, we also take care of the needs of the soul. So there are two things which are happening parallelly. And there is a today's worldview which has been largely presented by the analytical study of the world with the means of the instruments and measurements. And that has given an understanding that there's only a body, nothing beyond that. There is only one life, and there's nothing beyond it. So today, in today's society, we are encouraged largely to just look for the needs of the body, and we look everything around in this world from the perspective of how can I sustain, maintain, and protect this body. So while defining these two worldviews, let's call one as Vedic view, other call as modern view. Now let's have a discussion where I would like to raise a question to this Shyamanada. Can you please define compassion for these two worldviews? What does a compassion looks like or mean for these two worldviews?
Okay, let us take the word you use, so-called modern. Sometimes people may jump on us and say, "Hey, you are using modern equipment. This equipment is done on a. This podcast is done on a modern equipment. You are using every bit of modern technology science just to offer, and you have the gumption to deride it, to criticize it." So, dear friends, viewers, audience, listeners, the the aim is not to dismantle everything modern. The aim is to take a realistic view of life according to the lenses provided by the Bhagavad Gita. So, compassion for the dress of a drowning man, that is senseless. A person is drowning, save me, save me. His wife, his kids, his friends are all shouting, shrieking. So here comes the those guys, what are they called? They are on the beaches, lifeguards. So this lifeguard goes, jumps in the ocean, and since it's a turbulent ocean, not much can be seen as to what's happening. And after half an hour, this man comes with a look of triumph on his face that, lady, I couldn't save your husband, but at least the coat is with me. And I could see that, you're from a very rich background. So this coat must have been quite expensive. So here is the next best thing. Now, will the family be satisfied with the expensive coat being saved? No. A person falling in the ocean of Nishayan, similarly, avidya, cannot be saved by rescuing the outward dress, which is the gross material body. Now, why do why do people cringe at the thought of I am not the body? Then who am I then? In fact, the early followers of Swami Prabhupada in New York, when they heard him repeating it again and again, I am not the body, I am not the body. So one early disciple, who's now a leader in the movement, he said, maybe he is so evolved that he is not his body. So he went and said, Swamiji, I'm really appreciative of the fact that you are not your body. He says, no, I'm teaching you that even you are not the body. So one person asked the question, if I am not my body, then whose body I am? So humor apart, Prabhupada was invited in MIT, one of the holiest of the holies, the sanctum sanctorum of scientific research. And he offered a small query. Where is a scientific department which understands the difference between the body and the owner of the body? And he said it doesn't exist. So you were asking about the difference between the two worldviews. So one is where even if the dress is torn, the dress is damaged, or somebody loses his coat, we save the person. That is real compassion. So that is Bhagavad Gita's view. You know something? This is my last point. In general parlance, anywhere in the world, so I have not studied Aboriginal languages which don't have any script, but almost every language they use words like, and they don't have the Gita is not there in all cultures. My uncle passed away, so and so departed. such and such person is no more. Or you may say, I'm in the hospital, I'm seeing this person lying in the bed, and the doctor is saying, shaking his head, he's no more. Why no more? He's there. Oh, that's his body. Then who is no more? Who is that person who departed? Who is the one who left? Was that the real uncle? Was that the real father? So, subconsciously, we talk the Gita's language, but because there is no proper culture of training and education, although we may be seeing that, we don't realize. So, this compassion, which is based on just seeing a person as black, yellow, white, intelligent, dull, rich, poor, is based on the avidya concept, where there is no understanding of the soul. And therefore, poverty alleviation, training and education, society, culture, crime, morality, values, attitudes, all of these, like a quadratic equation, there is a small error in the first step. And every subsequent step you take simply compounds the error. So, to summarize, compassion based on Bhagavad Gita can actually save a person. Compassion based on no understanding of the Gita's concepts of the soul will leave the person frustrated. You might feel that I have done so much, I don't get any reciprocation. I have done so much, but I don't feel happy about doing it. So, all these social welfare schemes, and my last point, somebody having cirrhosis of liver, and that guy is demanding a small peg. Just give me a little bit of alcohol. Giving alcohol is compassion. He will agree, of course, but won't that aggravate the problem? So the doctors, the relatives, they might condemn the person doing that act of compassion. That he lost his sense, but idiot, you are a sane person. You should not have done it. These are some thoughts on the dichotomy of compassion based on understanding the body as the self and the soul as the self.
If I can just raise another point here, somebody may raise a question: is the compassion only shown on the platform body? Is it not complete? Or the compassion need to be shown on the platforms of the soul? In other words, what I meant to say, or what I feel on the subject matter, as we will see through the pages of Bhagavad Gita also, there are a lot of chances of being biased when we see on the platform body. Because when we look at the platform that, I'm this body means it belongs to this land, it belongs to this religion or a faith, then but naturally we divide the society, as you were making point, black, yellow, green, whatnot. There are all kind of discrimination arising because of bodily identification. And when there is a discrimination arising because of bodily identifications, then also the compassion would get divided. And often people like to show compassion to the people belonging to their own race, to their own nationality, to their own religion. However, it is not limited when we are showing compassion on the platform of soul, because soul's nature is eternal and there's no discrimination at the level of soul. We'll see that again ahead in the future, but one of the really wonderful verses which Krishna speaks in the fifth chapter, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Dhamini Gavihastani Suni Chaiva Supakecha Pandita Samadarshana. Here Krishna is talking about equality not only on the level of human beings, in fact on the level of animals, in fact equality across species. There is no discrimination or distinction. So now as the subject matter builds up, there would be these two viewpoints which we'll be bringing again and again, and just to help us understand what is the right way of looking and what is the right way of living our life. So that's the point here on compassion. So what I understand, Prabhuji, as you concluded, that compassion on the platform body is limited, is not complete, because we're just saving the half of the truth. But whereas compassion shown on the platform soul is a real compassion, because that's what we are. Is that correct to conclude with?
Oh, yeah, like one college boy many years ago was saying, so you mean to say, you Gita people, would you like to neglect the body because we are not the body? So, no, let's not be digital, either one or nil.
Correct.
Like, without the training and without the culture, focusing only on the body and a half baked knowledge about the Bhagavad Gita, and they say, okay, neglect the body, torture the body, let the body die, self denial. No, nowhere in the Gita or the Mahabharata or the Bhagavad is it recommended that one should uh, one should totally neglect all bodily demands. See, you have a car and you have a driver, and let's say you engage the car as well as the driver in going from commuting from your house to the office or whatever. So you have your needs, your car is your vehicle, and you have a driver. Now you can't say that let the car take some petrol and give about 2 liters to the driver also. No. Or you give a full plate of prasad to the full plate of lunch to the driver and keep 3 plates in the gas tank. They have both their distinct needs. So just like my body, your body, it needs attention. It needs preventive as well as breakdown maintenance, both of it. So once one understands that I am the soul and I have a body, I need to maintain both of them properly. They both have their distinct needs. But when I see something in my bathroom mirror and I say, this is me, the body, then I have a very wrongly focused life where a personal insult is seen as somebody insulted me. Like somebody may pass a remark on my clothes. They haven't passed a remark on me, but my clothes, and my clothes can change. So, friends, a whole new vista opens, a life of unlimited possibilities. In one sense, we are not laughing at Arjuna for crying, but we are happy in one sense that he lamented, and Krishna used this reason to bring out and open a whole new vista of spiritual knowledge. So I would like to conclude my points by saying that somebody who laments for the outward dress is described by the Bhagavad Gita as somebody who laments unnecessarily. Arjun, as a warrior, administrator, and a Kshatriya, this conduct was not expected from him. But because he has come to Krishna, Krishna can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant person. And therefore, this Gita was sung by him. So there is a lot of analytical study about the body and the soul, as we'll have a series of verses which make it so clear as to what is the body and what is the soul. It's a very exciting theme which we'll be touching upon in the next, say, 2 dozen or so verses, right up to 2.28, 2.30 or something. So that's all from me.
So we are about to start an exciting journey. Father, the Supreme Father, is said to be all compassionate. So let's see how his compassion unfolds. And we'll be surprised the definition of compassion as we're going to see ahead, what exactly it is. Our viewpoint of compassion is often tailored with somebody has been protected, fed enough, etc., etc. But let's see what compassion unfolds here.
As you rightly said, Prabhu, that Dhritarashtra in the beginning was very happy to hear of Arjuna's, I will not fight, let them kill me, I'll be unarmed, and I'm leaving everything. And he's saying, whoa, if without a fight he's handing over the whole kingdom on a platter, I'll be very happy. So his sons could be victorious. But the first verse where Krishna has started to speak is slowly going to dispel Dhritarashtra's happiness forever.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.